I still remember my first week in high school of hospitality. All my classmates were so excited. They were carrying trays with confidence, polishing glasses, and practicing smiles. But I was not excited. I was anxious and overwhelmed, and I was counting minutes until the day was over. I didn't know back then I was a highly sensitive person trying to survive in the world built for extroverts. And that was just the beginning of a very long journey studying and working in hospitality and choosing a path that never truly fit me to begin with. When I was 15, I had to make a decision and choose a high school to go to. And choosing hospitality felt like a safe option for me, like the best option, because I was good at learning languages and I had a big interest in travel and tourism. I didn't know any better when I was 15 years old, and I didn't know myself at all. And looking back at it, I feel like that choosing what you want to do for the rest of your life when you are that young and you have no idea who you really are is so wrong. I was convinced that studying hospitality was the best option for me at that time. But our practical training quickly showed me otherwise. Working in five-star hotels, mostly in restaurants, meant non-stop interaction with strangers, constant noise, and big pressure from the supervisors. I smiled because I had to, not because I wanted to. And every impatient customer with raised voice and every tiny mistake stuck with me long after the shift already ended. And I gave everything I had, my time, my energy, and my emotions. And I always felt super exhausted after work, like I had no energy for my personal life. That's what being highly sensitive person working in hospitality and customer service feels like. It feels like you are constantly giving until you are completely depleted and empty. And as a highly sensitive person working in such an environment, it was a sensory overload I couldn't escape. And I always thought that I would get used to it because other my classmates, they didn't have any problem with working in such an environment. So I was hoping that it would get better with time, but it never did. After finishing high school, I didn't know what else to do. So I decided to study bachelor degree in travel and tourism at university. It felt like a logical step. I stayed and I kept studying because I didn't know any different. And sometimes staying feels much easier than starting something over all over again. After finishing my master degree, I got accepted to work for Emirates airline, and I thought I finally made it. Travel the world, live in Dubai, work and meet people from all over the world. It sounds perfect, right? But here is the truth. Being cabin crew is one of the most physically and emotionally demanding jobs you can do, especially if you are a highly sensitive person. There is constant noise, jet lag and shift work, serving hundreds of strangers while you are suppressing your own feelings and needs. For small talk, for sometimes even 17 hours straight, and being constantly watched, judged, and evaluated. I remember finishing long haul flights to Los Angeles and then getting on the crew bus and feeling like I had absolutely nothing left. No energy left, nothing. And all I wanted to do for the next 2 days was just to stay in bed and sleep. I had everything I thought I wanted back then. I had this glamorous job people dreamed of. I had great pay. I had cheap air tickets all over the world. And I had this luxury lifestyle in Dubai. But I still felt empty. After I left Emirates, I embarked on one of the biggest adventures of my life to New Zealand, hoping to heal myself, find myself again, and start fresh. I didn't know what I wanted to do there, and I had a freedom to try many different jobs, like in services, outdoor jobs, farm work, until I found myself working in healthcare, something I always wanted to try. Working in healthcare brought me this greater sense of purpose. And finally, for the first time in so many years, I felt like that what I was doing was meaningful. Like I was finally helping people. I was making impact. And it actually touched something really deep inside of me. But it was also really emotionally heavy because I was mostly working with elderly patients and I saw them fade the day after day. And I felt their loneliness, the frustration, and the fear of death long after my shift ended. And while I really wanted to keep working there because the job was fulfilling, at the same time, I felt so drained after work, like I had no energy left for my personal life. So I felt like that if I kept working there, it would destroy my spirit because I started having nightmares about the job almost every night. And also I started to have constant back pain, so it would have big toll on my body in the long run. And I finally started to understand that the best way to be at service wasn't by working with people, but it was by helping animals, something I was always called to do. So shortly after, I began to volunteer at the local animal shelter. And at first, it was something just to fill my free time, but it quickly became something much more. Animals didn't need me to perform. They didn't need me to smile when I didn't feel like. And they also didn't need me to make a small talk when I really didn't want to. They just needed my presence, my care. And I started to realize that that's where I truly belong. The same emotions that overwhelmed me working in hospitality and drained me working in healthcare allowed me to finally deeply connect with animals. For the first time, I feel at peace, doing what I love, helping, but not in the way that would destroy my energy and my well being. Today, I'm still volunteering and I also started pet sitting for money. And it's also the first time when I feel like I'm getting paid for something that it's truly fulfilling for me and for doing something I truly love doing. And it honestly doesn't even feel like work. I do not really know what the future holds, but I can already tell you that working with people in any shape or form is just not for me. And staying in the same place, trying the same thing and expecting different results just because I have a fear of starting something completely new and starting somewhere completely over is not worth it. Looking back, working in hospitality, healthcare, or aviation led me to where I am today. And each job showed me what didn't work for me so I could find what does. I wasn't made for constant pressure, noise, and performance. I was made for calm care and quiet impact. And if you are watching this right now and you are stuck in something that drains you, or in a job that you just don't want to do anymore, please know that it's never too late to start over. Sometimes you have to lose yourself in the wrong places to find who you truly are. And your sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a compass. And when you finally decide to follow it, you will find peace in the places you never expected.